everybody. This is really like a dream. I'm at the Racine Arts Council, and there's no art on the wall. And then I noticed they're having this Joseph Cornell show, but there's nothing in the boxes. And then I'm following Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell. I'm really surprised that I have pants on. I'm amazed. When I was a kid, my mother told me that Jesus especially loves little girls named Mary because his mother was named Mary. I said, Mom, Jesus is messed up. If you never get real sick or have a bad accident and manage to avoid murderers, you'll have to kill yourself. She said, how come you never pay attention to me? He said, can't you wait a minute? Heckle and Jekyll's almost over. She said, decide right now which is more important. He said, Heckle is more important, but Jekyll's very important too. I caught a really big fish. My pole was about to break. I didn't have a fishing net, but I noticed the woman wearing fishnet stockings, so we had sex. To confuse my dog, I sometimes bark like a dog. To confuse me, my dog says, stop it. The teacher said, who can name 5 farm animals? Betty the farm girl said, I already did. Billy, Scooter, Willow, Champ, and Fluffy. You're young enough, this should be funny. When I quit drinking and smoking dope, I still went to the liquor store for non-alcoholic beer and to my drug dealer for non-getting high pot. I belong to an anti-free speech group. We hold public rallies and demand to be silenced. Getting married for sex is like taking up golf for pencils. I was lonely, so I went to the animal shelter and got a dog. This helped a little, but I was still lonely, so I went to the women's shelter and got arrested. I saw a couple kissing in the park. I said, get a room. Then I saw a man reading a book. I said, go to the library. I wasn't going to do this one, but I'm going to do this one for Dembski. We have a really crummy library where I live. I asked the librarian if they had books on tape, and she said, mostly tape on books. The doctor said I have a brain tumor. He said the most important thing is to maintain a positive attitude, and that I should think of this as the first day of the rest of my month. Sitting on my lap was as far as she would go. She invited me to an orgy. People were stacked to the ceiling. The woman next door collects refrigerator magnets. All night long there's this scraping sound as my appliances move slowly across the kitchen floor. That's for people who collect refrigerator magnets. If you don't really want to know what you look like, wait until somebody asks you to do something ridiculous and then say, what do I look like? I want to show my love for you in 1,000 different ways, but toward the end, some of them might get pretty weird. He was in the heating and cooling business. He asked if my house had central air. I said no. In my house, all the air is off to one side. I wanted to go miniature golfing, but it snowed, so I went miniature cross-country skiing instead. Hi, Sandy. How you doing? It's my friend Sandy Christensen back there. I've always wondered if the little drummer boy stuck with it. I I said, the world would be better off if I'd never been born. She said, don't be ridiculous. If you'd never been born, the world would be exactly the same. Two bugs on a leaf. One turns to the other and says, do you believe in life on other plants? I'll just have a sliver, said the overweight termite at the birthday party. Those are my two talking insect jokes. I was watching Baby Court. Anybody watch Baby Court? I was watching Baby Court. An infant complained about lumpy apricots. The judge issued a restraining order. Okay, I'm going to alienate half the crowd, well, more than half the crowd. Adam, alone with God, complained of being alone. Later he tried to apologize, but it was too late. This is one I've never done before. My father was very specific about how fed up he was. He would say, I'm fed up to here, and then show us with his hand. If you eat your cereal with a fork, you can use the milk more than once. I recently joined a white mediocrities group. We believe that God intended the white race to be mediocre. I think this was the most white people I've ever seen singing We Shall Overcome. I was wondering, you know, whatever, the economic problem, probably. Discussion finally came around to what kind of frozen pizza Jesus would eat. We decided on supreme self-rising. Show me a man sitting alone in his room, and I'll show you a man wondering who we are, how we got in here, and why are we staring here. Thanks a lot, everybody.